Hey guys, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a video chatting about hyped books that I haven't read yet. I'm exposing myself in this video today, guys, and I don't know how to feel. This one, I did a version of this like a year ago, which was all contemporary romances. This one is I think every single book on this list is a fantasy romance. And some of these I will want to read, and some of them I haven't read and I feel like will never read. These are all like very hyped books. And yeah, so the first one is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This one I don't think I'm ever gonna read. I don't know yet. I started reading it when it released, but all of the reviews of my friends that had read it were saying horrible things, that it just was not good at all. They didn't enjoy it at all, that it felt like another filler book. And I really feel like that's true because this book, y'all, I just feel like the original plan for the series was to just be a trilogy. And I think once Rebecca got her book deal with her publisher, I feel like they decided, and maybe with the TV show adaptation, they just decided like we need to make this 5 books long. And I've just heard like the ending didn't make sense. There's 20 plus characters, and I was even reading it at the beginning of this book of like all these characters I don't remember, I don't care, and I just like don't want to read it. I don't want to waste my time reading a 500-page book that I'm not going to enjoy. I really did love Fourth Wing. It was peak amazingness, and I feel like if she kept with the original plan of a trilogy and maybe did like spin-off series within the world, like I would have enjoyed it more. But I didn't like Iron Flame, and a lot of my friends who I agree with on Iron Flame and the rest of the series, they just didn't like this one, and I don't want to read it if I'm not going to like it. So I don't know. The next book is Fear the Flame by Olivia Rose Darling. This is a dragon fantasy romance, and I definitely want to read this. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I've heard really good things. I really like the cover. I'm kind of keeping it vague because I don't want to know a lot going into this one. But people have really loved it, and I just really love that like fantasy romances are now having more dragons in them, which is super exciting. So I'm excited to read this hopefully soon. Then I have Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. This one has over almost 300,000 ratings on Goodreads, which is insane. But I'm actually currently reading this and really enjoying it. I am loving it actually. And it is a fantasy romance. I don't know like the whole synopsis because I want it to be kind of vague, but so far the heroine stole this like gauntlet thing from a king's guard. And I think what's going to end up happening is she's going to like be taken as prisoner, and that's where she's going to meet the hero, who I think is like a fake king, and stuff happens. I don't know, but this one is so popular. People are ride or die for this book, and I'm really excited to read it and continue reading it because I'm really enjoying it. The next one I have is the Book of Azriel. This is a dark high fantasy romance. This one I actually started it and DNF'd, but that was only because I wasn't in the mood at the moment, but I definitely want to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this fantasy romance. The heroine is a type of like assassin, torturer type person, and supposedly the hero is like die hard for the heroine, and I've just heard so many good things, and I really want to read it. I feel like I would really like the audiobook maybe. So I need to get to this stat because I feel like I'm going to really enjoy it. The next one I have is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is a fantasy romance where I think like the heroine, she is like taken to this like king or something happens. I don't even know what this book is about, to be honest, but I've heard such good things and I really want to read it. I think I would love this series. People say the first book is more of like a intro book, like not a lot happens, but the second book is really, really good. Glow of the Everflame. And that literally one scene that somebody said that maybe like convinced me to read this is that the hero literally goes on his knees for the heroine. Is like, I'm so obsessed with you. And I love that in romances, so I am dying to read this. I feel like I'm gonna really love it. Then I have Lightlark by Alex Astor. This one is a YA fantasy. It's super popular. I don't know why. I feel like she got a lot of hype when she was writing the book, and she was saying like, I'm gonna have a movie deal for it. And all of the people that I've seen read it just like don't like it and are like, why was this book made? Which seems very harsh. But I just don't have any interest in reading this. I don't want to read it. And I don't think I will ever pick up any of her books ever. So that's it on that. The next one I have is Bonded by Thorns. This is a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast fantasy retelling, and from what I've heard, it's really freaking good. So I really want to read this. I think it follows the same story of like her dad. Everyone in the town thinks he's crazy and he gets kidnapped, and so she gets taken to this castle and she ends up meeting like 4 other lords, and those are the heroes, and it is Why Choose, and people really love this series. So I want to read it. I love a good Why Choose romance, and I haven't read like a Why Choose fantasy romance yet, so I am excited to get to this. Then I have the Zodiac Academy. This is a very popular series. I think they're like fae romances, but honestly, I have no idea. And I don't think I'll ever read this series. It's just way too long, I've heard. It's like 8-9 books, and they're all like 500 pages. But people really do love it. And I think these are like Why Choose romances. Honestly, I don't know, but I don't really care. Which sounds very harsh, but I don't know. Something needs to convince me to read it. Like, do you guys like the series? What are your thoughts? I would love to know, but I don't know. I don't feel like I would love this series. I don't love when series are drawn out for nothing, so I don't think I'm going to read this, but I don't know. And the last romance series I want to talk about is the Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. This series, I've heard just like such great things, and I really want to read it. The first book I've heard is the best, and then the second one was not as good, but maybe the third one will be better. But this one I think is another fae fantasy romance, and I think he's like a king, and it's like also hate to love. I really want to read it. I feel like I would really enjoy this one. I just love fantasy, hate to love romances, and Holly Renee is definitely an author I really want to read and prioritize in 2025. Okay, well that was the last book I wanted to talk about in this video. This was actually a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be, but some of these I do want to read and some of these I don't. I don't know, I always have like trouble with hyped books because sometimes I can't tell if like it's hyped for a good reason or it's just hyped for the spice. But some of these I really want to read, and I want to get into my romantasy era in 2025. I love romantasy. I just want to read more of it. I just want to read more of it and prioritize reading it in this genre. But yeah, that is the last book I wanted to chat about. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you agree with any of my thoughts, or if you disagree and think that I should read one of these books. I would love to know, and I want to thank you again so much for watching. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.